Apparently, a lot of people didn't get the message. It's officially a Spare the Air Day.
Do you know what that means?
Not exactly. No, I don't.
It means take a bus, ride a bike, or walk if you can. This new webpage shows the pollution patterns, explaining why.
Watch the Folsom area right there. We start to get that darker color, and that shows that we actually had a violation. That means unhealthy air, and it also means one more exceedance of the federal health standard on the record here for the Sacramento region.
Too many violations add up to penalties. That's why when everyone drives...
El Dorado Hills, behind me you can see the city of Sacramento slowly waking up with the rest of us. But what you may not be able to see is already the haze that's forming all across the valley here. Of course, that haze making a lot of people's lives miserable, and it doesn't look like it's going to be any better today. Now, the experts say pollution gets worse as the day progresses and the heat rises. The Sacramento Pollution Index shows us how bad it will get. The index predicted at 113 today. The computer graphic shows us how bad it got in Folsom. The Pollution Standard Index hit 100 yesterday.
When we come in at 100, that's a federal violation. We've only had one violation so far this summer. That's very atypical. We're having a great summer, all things considered.
Back here live.
Will firefighters get a break from the heat tomorrow? Dave Bender's in the Weather Center with what is a scorching forecast, and that goes for all of the state virtually, right?
It's
Dave?
pretty much, it's almost the entire western part of the U.S. Stan. Temperatures in Southern California topping out in the triple digits in a lot of locations. Here locally, it was just about as bad. Take a look at our high temperatures. 107 in Sacramento, 105 in Stockton, El Dorado Hills 102. Look at, you even got mid-90s at Pollock Pines and Groveland, and you know it's hot when Fairfield comes in with 104 degrees. Well, let's head down south, Southern California, Los Angeles area. Chatsworth today saw a high at 110 degrees. A lot of these people dealing with temperatures around 107, 108 out in the areas where they're dealing out and along the pavement there. You saw 114 on a bank clock. Incredible heat in Southern California. They're going to have to deal with more of that, and so are we. And also with hot temperatures, we're going to have to deal with some pretty nasty air quality. The forecast for tomorrow, 113 for Sacramento, so we're going, hey, spare the air again. And Stockton Modesto looking at a 91, spare the air advisory as well. The good news for today, we only hit 92 on the PSI, which is actually better than anticipated. We forecasted, the air quality management guys forecasted a 100, and with the issuance of the spare the air advisory, we basically had people cut back on driving and all that, and it helped, and it kept us from going into that 100 range on the pollutant standard index. So that's good news, and people are heeding the warnings. Also, tomorrow, since it's going to be, we're going to see temperatures again in the triple digit stand, you're going to want to back off from all of your electrical usage, especially during peak hours between 4 and 7 p.m., just to help, because if it's the entire western part of the U.S., we don't want a power grid going out, and that could happen.
Keep the temperature control up around 78 or 80.
You got it.
Yeah. Okay.
Hottest day of the year in Sacramento, but I guess if you can say it like this, we can find comfort in knowing that we weren't alone.
Yeah, Donna, I think when we were talking earlier, we said we went outside and it almost felt like the heat was smothering us because it was so intense. Let's go ahead and check some of those daytime highs coming in this afternoon. Anywhere from 105 to 110 throughout the valley area. That is hot. San Francisco and Santa Rosa both hitting records this afternoon, and there's not much relief in sight. Tomorrow, another bad air quality day. You can see that brown ring around the city this afternoon. Expect that again tomorrow afternoon with Sacramento, Stockton, and Modesto all under a spare the air advisory tomorrow afternoon. And unfortunately, there is more heat on the way for tomorrow, but very good news. There is some relief in sight, and I'll talk a little bit more about that coming up in just a bit. Back to you guys.
Remember how nice July.
Pollution levels.
Mark Fina joins us now live in the Weather Center with word on how bad the air quality will be today. Mark?
Well, right now the forecast for today is that the air quality will be the worst that we've seen so far this year. We have some pictures to show you from earlier today. We have this haze that's been hanging over the valley. These pictures from LiveCopter 3 earlier today, you can see that the visibility isn't all that good. And what this really is the inversion. The inversion kind of locks in a lot of the pollutants during the overnight hours, and that's what leads to our bad air quality. The pollution just kind of builds up day after day. And so here are the numbers. We're expecting a PSI reading of 113, mostly due to ozone, 91 in the San Joaquin Valley. Both areas have declared a spare the air day. Reduce any unnecessary driving, don't use the lawnmower, that sort of thing, anything that will contribute more pollution to the air, because it is kind of locked into the valley for right now. We are going to see some relief over the next few days, both in our temperatures as well as the air quality. I'll have the full forecast for you coming up in just a little bit. Back to you in the studio.
Okay, looking forward to that. Thank you, Mark.